Hello, everyone on Facebook. My name is Andrea Evans, and I'm the owner of the law firm of Andrea Hens Evans. I'm live on both Periscope as well as Facebook, and I'm really happy to see you all today because it is World Intellectual Property Day. So, do you even know what World Intellectual Property Day is? Let's start there. How many of you knew that this was an actual day? Well, it is, and WIPO, which stands for the World Intellectual Property Organization, established this day to recognize intellectual property around the world. So IP attorneys everywhere, inventors everywhere celebrate because it's World Intellectual Property Day. Okay, thank you very much. I'm glad to see you here. And I want to welcome those of you watching on the replay. So if you're watching on the replay, feel free to post questions. I'll do my best to answer them. But I want to let you all know, don't post anything confidential. Of course, whatever you post, others can see, number one. But number two, we don't have an attorney-client relationship. So if you want to establish an attorney-client relationship, I'm happy to let you know that you can go to evansiplaw.com. and you can click on the Contact Us form, and when you go there, you can complete that, and my office will follow up with detailed information about how to schedule a consultation. Now, one thing I want to say about that is that when you schedule the consultation, don't worry, it's confidential. That establishes an attorney-client privilege. So if you're wondering why I'm going back and forth and looking both directions, it's because I'm talking to you on both Facebook as well as Periscope. Okay, so let's get started. Yes, I have on my hat today. Yes, I could just do this all day. This is fun. But I'm going to get serious now because what I like about the theme about World Intellectual Property Day this year is that it celebrates women, the genius of their intellectual property and their innovation, the contributions they've made to intellectual property. And some of you, it may be your first time here. Someone may have referred you to this post. Someone may have shared this, and you're wondering, what is intellectual property? Okay, so I'm going to tell you. Intellectual property is divided into three parts: patents, trademarks, and copyrights. So let me know in the comments if you want to hear more about patents, if you want to hear about trademarks, if you want to hear about copyrights. And if you're still confused and you're saying, I don't even know what that is, so let's just take a step back. Like I said, intellectual property is divided into patents, trademarks, and copyrights. Patents protect inventions. That's just a simple way to think about it. Trademarks protect your brand. So if you have a name, we think about Nike, Sony. Hey, we think about the law firm of Andrea Hens Evans. That's a brand that people know. And then last but not least, the notes that you're taking today, your artwork, your written work, that can be protected with the copyright. So now that I've explained that to you, I'm looking for your comments. Let me know if you're an inventor, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're some type of author or artist. Because guess what? Everyone has some type of intellectual property. And people often call my law firm and they say, I have all these good ideas and I just don't know what to do with them. I just don't know how to protect them. Well, you're in the right place, because what you're going to need to do is contact a qualified intellectual property attorney like myself. So I have a double win for today. It's World Intellectual Property Day, number one. We're celebrating the contributions of women. And guess what? I'm a woman and I own the law firm of Andrea Hens Evans. I'm so proud of that because I've had the firm for 11 years. And prior to that, I worked at the Patent and Trademark Office as both a patent examiner as well as a trademark examining attorney. So I like to think that I know a little bit about intellectual property. I know a lot about intellectual property, actually. I am an expert in this field. And so I just want to come on briefly, because I know it's in the middle of the day, and just share some words of wisdom and let you know what needs to be done if you think you have an invention, or you're ready to move forward with protecting your brand, or you want to even know why you should copyright. If this post is going to be too short for you, then I'm going to recommend you text Evans IP Law to 444-999, and then you can subscribe to my firm's newsletter. Or let's say you just don't want to go with the text route. You can go to evansiplaw.com and then you can subscribe by clicking the old-fashioned route subscribe button. Okay, So KT Johnson, hello. Thank you for joining on Facebook. She's saying that she is an entrepreneur and your husband is watching about trademarks. Okay, I'm happy to see that both of you are spending a little time with me. Jane, thank you so much for joining. And so someone asked me to repeat that, but you can always go back and see it on the replay. Patents protect inventions, trademarks protect your brands, and copyrights protect your written material. So I've given you all enough time to get your pens and papers together, to get your phones out and go to the notes section and take some good notes. Let's start with patents. So you think you have an invention, now what do you do, right? First thing I'm going to say is you can just go to uspto.gov. It's a free resource. There you can do a search and use their database, but I want to let you know the search doesn't cover everything that we would do when we do our professional search. I think that it's wise to let you know that although it's not required to hire an attorney for any of this, it's recommended, right? So it's just like anything. I'm sure you can know enough just to be dangerous, but it can be dangerous, by the way, to prosecute any application on your own, because guess what? These are legal documents. So when you do make a mistake, you can't say you didn't know, because the law expects you to know. That's why they give you the option to hire someone like myself. So I'm a patent attorney. What's required to be a patent attorney? We have to have an engineering degree and we have to have a law degree. So I have a math and engineering degree from Spelman and Georgia Tech, and then I have my law degree from George Washington Law School in Washington, D.C. I'm really happy that my steps were ordered to attend those prestigious universities, and especially George Washington Law School, because if you know anything about intellectual property, then you know it's the #1 law school for intellectual property. So I excelled in all my classes there, and I'm really proud that after that, I went on to the patent office to work, like I said, 3 years as a patent examiner and 2 years as a trademark examining attorney. So here's what's required if you think you have something that's patentable. The first thing is you want to make sure that your invention is novel. And that means, is it new? So if there's something already like that, whether it be on the market or whether you saw it on a blog post, or guess what, even if you saw it on a trip on your vacation to another country, it's out there. That means your invention is not novel. Okay, so the second standard is going to be the obvious standard. This is where you really need an attorney like myself to help you, because the obvious standard, the question is, would it be obvious to one of ordinary skill in the art to take what's out there and combine it to make this invention? Whew, I know that's a mouthful. I have that phrase down to a T, because when I worked at the patent office, that was probably the most common rejection. And if you've ever filed a patent application, you know that's the most common rejection, because they're constantly trying to take things that are out there and combine it. But we know as inventors that everything is a combination of something that already exists. And the question is, are you combining it in a way to make sure it's not obvious? So one thing that is obvious is changing the size of something, changing the shape, changing the color. Those are going to be obvious changes. So if you're sitting on an invention and you want to say to me, hey, I have this invention, I'm going to change the color of my laptop to blue, that's not going to cut it. Okay, thank you for joining. Happy World Intellectual Property Day to you too. Now, Periscope, I can see you all watching. You must be taking notes over here because you're kind of quiet. Facebook, I see some comments going, and I appreciate it. So give me hearts and let me know you're watching and enjoying this. And last but not least, for inventions, we talked about it having to be novel or new. We talked about it having to be non-obvious. And last but not least, it needs to be a useful invention that's solving a problem. So that's simple, because guess what? That's why you invented it in the first place. Okay, thank you so much, Tisha, for your question. And okay, she's telling me everybody's working. That's true. It's in the middle of the day. I guess everybody's not celebrating World Intellectual Property Day. I'm going to blow this for you, for all of you that are just watching and working. And, you know, this will always be up for the replay. Now, let's move on to trademarks, because I get a lot of calls about trademarks. And I think it's very interesting because I watch TV as well, and I see they are constantly showing commercials. If you have an invention, call this 800 number. If you think you have the next best thing, call this number, right? Okay. How many of you, let me know, because I must be looking in the wrong place. How many of you have actually ever seen a commercial where they say to you, hey, if you have a business, did you get a trademark? Okay. I'm seeing hearts, but I'm hearing crickets, because I have never seen anyone actually advertise that. And I'm very passionate about educating others about the importance of protecting their trademarks. Now, what's a trademark? So a trademark is something that's a source identifier. It can be something like a word, like we think of Nike. It can be a symbol, like we think of the swoosh symbol, or it can even be a slogan, like we think of just do it. So those are a few examples of what can be trademarked. Now, you may have a favorite word and you may say, great, I'm so glad that she's here. And now I have this favorite word that I want to protect. But guess what? In order to protect your trademark, you do have to either be using it on a product or a service or intending to use it on a product or a service. So don't just call and say, hey, I have this favorite word and I want to protect it. You're going to have to be able to say, I want to use Evans IP Law on t-shirts. I want to sell dolls with the brand name Evans IP Law. And that should make sense because we are all experts in trademarks and you may not even know it. And you know how I know? Because we all purchase things. We all go shopping and see things on the store shelves and we can say, hey, this sounds like the same brand. I'm confused by that. Or this looks the same, or it has the same spelling. So when you think of a brand name, you want to make sure it's strong. Now, I've been in business 10 years and I never got a trademark. I'm doing fine, but guess what? You only have common law rights and not federal rights. So what I am referring to are federal trademarks that cover you in all 50 states. And I don't know about you all, but if I take the time to create a brand name, I just don't want someone either knocking on my door saying it's their name, or worse, them making a profit off of my brand. So I know you all can relate. I see a lot of hearts going up, a lot of likes going up on Facebook. It is true, because we work hard. And I always say, at least when you have a child, you may have someone else or some family members to support you to say, I don't like that name. But we all know everything's in a name, and our businesses are like our babies, right? And we need all the help we can get when we name it. So if you take the time to brand it and have these great brands and symbols and pictures, even three-dimensional designs, domain names can be trademarked, hashtags can be trademarked, things that people identify as a brand can be trademarked, so take advantage of that. Hello to you all too. I'm glad that you all are joining, and I know some of you said you're at work, so I appreciate it. And so I'm going really fast because I want to get all this out, because we are celebrating World Intellectual Property Day today. So I had to come on live and share all this good information with you all. Okay, so last but not least, copyrights. So as soon as you put the pen to paper, you own the copyright in that. But in order to register it officially, you need to go to the Library of Congress and register it. And that way, when it's time to enforce your trademark, you have a registration number and you can enforce it. And yes, like I said, when it's time to sue for copyright infringement, you do have to have that copyright registration. Now, I'm going to summarize. I'm looking around to see if you all have any questions, because I don't want to take up too much of your time today. And of course, if you have specific questions about your invention, specific questions about your trademark, specific questions about your copyright, please let me know if I can help you. I have a federal practice. Like I said, I worked at the patent office for 5 years, 3 as a patent examiner, 2 as a trademark attorney, 11 years owning my law firm, representing some of you that have found me on social media, and I'm happy to see you all watching. And I'm really happy to inspire you all to protect your intellectual property. So my federal trademark is invest in your idea, and I believe in that, and I think it's important that all of you take the necessary steps to protect your intellectual property. Okay, now Tisha, we would need to have a consultation. She wants to know, do you file a copyright application for each individual website page? Well, we have to see what you have going on and what type of protection you want to get. So it's best to schedule a consultation. If you all are interested, you can basically send an email to my office at info@evansiplaw.com, or you can just call us at 301-497-9997, or you can just browse around on the website. And maybe your first time seeing me live. If you're on Facebook, check out my Periscope videos. If you're on Periscope, make sure you follow me on Facebook. And so I just want to thank you all for joining me today. I want to remind you all that patents protect inventions, trademarks protect your brands, copyrights protect your written materials. This is the first time I've ever come live on Facebook and Periscope at the same time, so I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone and share this valuable information with you. I want to definitely encourage you all to subscribe to my firm's newsletter. So today what I did was I took the time to send out a newsletter to let everyone know that I was coming live today, so more of you could watch this live and get your questions answered, but also to let you know that I'm a resource out here providing all this great information, because it's my true passion to let you all know that when you have something, it's worth protecting. And I'm sure I hear some amens through the phone. I see the hearts going up, because I know as an entrepreneur myself, owning Kidgineer, protecting Rock the Code, protecting Invest in Your Idea, and I have more things coming. I'm really, really excited. And I hope that you'll go to my website and check out my media page, because on my media page, you'll see that I've been doing a lot of television, and I want to get your feedback. I have a lot of good things going on. And what I'm most excited about is in August, I will be on season 2 of Make 48. So Make 48 is a television show. Inventors are going to have only 48 hours to solve a very broad problem. You're going to see me in action as a patent attorney. So I've always wanted to say I'm a patent attorney, and I play one on TV. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully you all are laughing. I'm excited about it. And we're going to be taping season 3 in August as well. So that's going to air in all 50 states on PBS. But if you are trying to write it down and you think you may forget, you may not be able to set your DVR, just subscribe to the newsletter and I'm going to let you all know what's going on. And thank you. I appreciate all of your feedback, all of your likes, all of your hearts, and all of your support, because I am really excited that so many of you tune in. People often say, as an attorney, what are you talking about? What are you doing to make people even want to hear about this? And it doesn't matter if I'm an attorney. Most importantly, I'm an entrepreneur, and I would want this information. I would want someone to tell me. So I want to tell you all, of course, I hope you'll work with my firm. That would be a bonus. But if you don't, I hope that I've encouraged you to at least take some steps to do a little research on your own and determine if you have an invention that's patentable, if you have a brand that you're going to trademark, or if you're working hard and writing a book, or you're an author, if you're going to take the time to copyright it and take the necessary steps. And it's definitely an investment, but it's a very small investment, because guess what? Trademarks last as long as you use them. Coca-Cola has had their trademark since the 1800s. So I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to drop the mic. I'm going to blow this again, because this is fun, to Facebook too. And I hope you all have a good day and a happy World Intellectual Property Day. Thank you so much for joining. If you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe to evansiplaw.com or text Evans IP Law to 444-999. You're going to get a free ebook that's going to dispel myths about trademarks. And I travel around the country. I speak at different conferences. I'm going to be hosting something soon. I'm going to be participating in InventionCon, the largest free intellectual property conference for inventors at the Patent Office in August. But don't worry, you're trying to write all this down and keep up with all this information. I'm going to share it on my site, and I'm going to let you know on the newsletter. So subscribe. I got to keep blowing this. This is fun. I could just sit here all day, but I have clients that need me to get their work done. So I'm going to get back to work. I love what I do. I'm so thankful to be an extension of your team. And thank you very much. I'm glad you're laughing. Dell Foreclosure, thank you for laughing. Thank you for enjoying this short presentation about intellectual property, and happy World Intellectual Property Day, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you.